we're not going to go in with the whole manager. Just as an introduction, this is going to be a new series I'm doing. I come in the evenings, run a short stream in the evenings, just whenever I can do it, and I come in and I rate the items in the store. How this will happen is I come in and I give the items, just the individual items as they come, we give them a 1 to 10 rating. There'll be pluses for packages, and minuses for some packages doing something else or whatever. Then we will go down the list, everything on the store. Now I will admit that the store already has a problem. I'm going to take off a point for each night there hasn't been a new item on the store. There hasn't been a new item in this store for 2 nights now, so the store already has 2 points off for it. So that's not good. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a terrible score if it is just full of really good items. This is a series a long time coming. I don't know why I never got around to doing it. Sorry, I'm setting up the list so I can actually do this. So let's go ahead into it. Now, this is already a plus because it's got packages. 2 packages, 3,200, which is quite pricey. We'll get you Cami, the Borealis backer, a second character, Guile, all from Street Fighter, by the way. KO backbling, which is kind of cool looking, digitized, 8-bit looking. Their background, which is very common to come nowadays with the packages like this, and their built-in emotes, which has, I'm almost positive, copyrighted music in it, but apparently I'm not getting in trouble for that because it's there despite the fact that I had the copyright thing on. So in all, it's not a bad looking thing. Combo here, it's a little pricey at 3,200. I don't think I would have expected it to be that. I guess it's okay. Let's go through each item here. And then for second pack, and I don't like it when they separate the packs. With these prices, I would expect 3,200 price to have all this in it. I especially would not expect a 2,400 price to have this little in it. So that's a little off-putting. First off, we have Cami. She's on Street Fighter. She's, I think, a French fighter. But I'm not going to 100% that. She kind of looks like she's in a Russian dress. She has 2 forms, as you can see. It's going to switch back and forth because I can't control it once I buy it, and yes, I bought this one. Her first form is her normal suit, which is the kind of weird leotard looking thing. Why does it switch over so quick from the other one? Oh, I can do this and keep it. It's got kind of a digital octagon scales on the side, strap for back bling, even though her black bling is leaving a backpack. It's got the green and black camo pants. It's typically what she wears in most of the Street Fighters we've seen her in, and I do believe it's what she's wearing in that really campy 90s movie that most people wish didn't exist. She's wearing some metallic wrist gauntlets, which look cool, but not quite sure. Well, hello, I didn't do that on purpose. Not quite sure their reason, other than the fact that if you got punched by those, it would probably hurt. One elbow has what appears to be an elbow guard, the other one doesn't, and who knows, that might just be a design. Her back bling is an Aurora Borealis. Excuse my butchering of that pronunciation. And a pronunciation of pronunciation. I'm not entirely sure why that is her back bling, but it may have something to do with her level. I'm gonna be straight with you. I haven't played Street Fighter since 3. I played a lot of 2, I played some of 3, and then I just dropped it. I'm not huge into versus fighting games. This is a move of hers. It's a move of hers from the Street Fighter since the inception of the special moves. And the mission complete is what she does in most of the Street Fighters after winning. Especially, I think, Street Fighter 2, but don't quote me on that. She's just going to hold that pose, apparently, which is fine. Her second outfit, which is going to blink on and off here, is a leather-ish looking tank top. Shows the belly, which is always good looking. She has... I really wish I could control this. I don't think it changes her hat or hair at all. It does change her sleeves into these black leather sleeves instead of the original no sleeves, and then it changes her metallic gauntlets into this magenta and silver one, which actually look kind of nicer than just the plain red toyish looking one. Whereas this had this kind of hugging leotard, she now has just camo pants, which look more military. I can see pluses on both of them. The camo pants are pretty typical. They're baggy at the boots. The boots have turned into combat boots. Were in the first one she's wearing combo boots, but they kind of go over the leotards. And all in all, it's a good looking skin. It comes with two different skins, which is always a plus, and they're both pretty different and good looking. And it comes with backbling, which while it doesn't quite look like your typical blackbling, it looks good. It's a Borealis. It's wavy. There's like no glitches or anything. It even looks good from the side. And then she has a built-in emote, which is always fun. It gives you an extra emote to play around with. So all in all, I would give Cami give her a solid 8. I'm going to give her a solid 8. I'm going to think about that. You know, I'm going to give her a solid 8 because she just comes by herself. With all that stuff, she's good. But I'll explain that later. We'll go on Guile. This is Guile. In his first form, this is how he looks like in the game. Don't ask me where his eyebrows are. Guile is supposed to be an American soldier. You can tell by the giant-ass American flag on his steroidal bicep, or triceps, or whatever the hell you call that thing up there. That muscle up there that's like so thick it looks like it's a part pumpkin. He's got his Chrome Magnum face. He looks like freaking an angry Matt Smith or something. He's got a really thick jawline though, like super thick jawline. And then he's got his crazy hair top thing. I've seen some people wear hair like this. It's usually just, I don't know, they're trying to look interesting. It kind of reminds me of it's long like this, like a paintbrush or wheat top. He's got a typical green tank top that you can see in a lot of military movies, along with typical green pants. He could be just basically in a military movie or in a military setting. All in all, he's interesting looking. He's well made here. The green and brown pants look cool and something you'd see in like some tropical setting camo. The brown boots are a little different for some reason. They don't look like something you usually use in combat boot style. Those are more like stylish hiking boots or something. They look good. He comes with the KO, which will wave around, digitize, and blink red and white like if it was used in the game. I do believe it's reactive, by the way, which means that it'll say KO as he gets it. I don't think the Borealis was reactive, was it? No, it was not. And just like her, he comes with a built-in emote. My problem is this is a built-in emote. Now, Staruto is one of his moves, sure, but it's not his most famous move. Its most famous move is Sonic Boom, where he brings two of his fists together and release a energy wave that looks like it's out of DBZ or something. He's one of the characters that can release energy waves, along with Ryu and Kin. But just like with Ryu, they didn't use their most famous energy wave for some reason. Not that that looks bad or anything. And then again, that's his victory stance right there. Combs his hair, puts his hands down, his comb disappears. Does he even bring out a comb when he combs his hair? He just makes the movement. No, he has a comb. It's there. It just kind of vanishes into the skin. I like the cuffs on the side, they look good. This is basically what it looks like in the game. Let's see what these say up here. Guile and in AO or something? I can't tell what that says. The top one's definitely Guile. His second form, which we'll link back and forth here, is a pretty much summary version of his black tank top. It's got a whistle, like a lifeguard whistle, replacing the dog tags. He's got short version of his, almost like swim trunks versions of his pants. He's got sandals on. It looks like a lifeguard. If this is a skin from the actual Street Fighter series, I'm unfamiliar with it. I do like the shades. All in all, good looking. He's a little weird looking, but that's just how his character looks in the game. If you don't like his forehead, just use his glasses for him with a towel around it. It's still good looking. The way the hair wiggles is kind of fun and nice. I'm going to give him also an 8 with her. He's just as good as she is, all in all, as far as good looking goes. That kind of muscle doesn't do much for me when it comes to people, just the saying. If I'd have to choose which one was the hotter looking character, it had to be her. Next up we got the Delta Red Bowie Blade. Bowie Blade is a Bowie knife, most likely, which is named after David Bowie of the Alamo fame. I don't think this looks like a Bowie knife. If I had a better streaming setup, I could throw up a Bowie knife for you. But, hold on, let me see if I can describe it. Why is my controller doing weird things like that? So a Bowie knife is what you would normally see as a kind of hunting knife. It looks like a small machete most of the time. It's got a small wooden hilt. It's got a flat back edge that then curves into a point that looks like a flame, and then back around the actual sharp part of the bottom is curved back around and then flattened again. It doesn't quite look like that. I guess that could be like the tip of it over there, and then it is something funky on the bottom. And some of the Bowie blades I do believe have the threaded tops, but not most of them. Don't know who this is supposed to be belonging to, but since Guile's the American, I'm assuming it's going to be him. It's an interesting looking pickaxe, but it's not actually anything special. It's not one I would normally spend my money on, except for I bought the package with the airplane in it, so I'm going to say that just color-wise, there's nothing special with it. Look-wise, there's nothing special with it. I'm actually giving this one a 3. It isn't that cool and interesting for Guile. Maybe it means something to Guile in Street Fighter, but to me it means nothing. They could have done something more iconic from Street Fighter. Oh, that's apparently supposed to be hers. This is Guile. Again, this is called Guile's Knuckle Buster. It's kind of play off Brass Knuckles. You can see the 2 holes up there. If you have the 2 holes and the edging up there, kind of to the left of the 2 holes, would look like Brass Knuckles. You'd hold them, they would shape around your knuckles, you'd punch someone and do some serious damage. It's been turned into an axe, which looks a little cooler than the last thing we were just looking at, because this one actually makes it looks like an axe. It doesn't just look like a mess. Its coloring's kind of a grayish brown, I would say. It's definitely been chipped and worn away, which gives it a good look. It's got a bandana on the back of it, wrapped around the back of it. Not terrible looking. I would say that, again, it's not terribly special, and it's not something iconic from the games that I'm aware of. From my knowledge of Street Fighter, I would give this one a 4. Got low mid-range there. And then the glider is actually pretty cool. I like the glider. It's a jet, and it's not just a jet, it's a jet from the background of Guile's stage. If you play Guile's stage, there's a jet in the background, and it's this thing. It's actually, I do believe these are actual jets, but don't ask me what kind they are. Their intake has always freaked me out. I don't know if you've ever seen the video, and don't look it up if you don't reserve. There's a video of a guy where the intake's on the side, over here, and the intake sucks in a worker, and he actually survives, but it looks freaky. I think he got seriously injured, but not to the point where he didn't live. And I always thought, well, this looks like that would be able to do it more, and then it looks like a mouth eating you at the same time. But this kind of jet I do believe exists, so maybe someone out there in YouTube land can tell me what kind of jet it is. It's got a kind of a fake Air Force symbol on the side there. I don't believe that symbol belongs into the natural Air Force, but it's like an eagle with a star and red and white and blue on it. And it's basically the same plane you see in 2D in the background of Street Fighter 2? Question mark? Definitely not Street Fighter 1. It's deploy. Sounds like a jet getting up. It kind of just comes out like a torpedo, then unfolds the wings and tails and the bottom and the missiles. It looks kind of cool. It's not the most special glider in the world, but it's iconic, unlike the tools, and it's fun. I'm giving that one a good old 6, a good solid 6, high mid. Actually, no, I'm not going to give that one a 7. Super high mid, or low high. Now, I am going to I'm going to talk about these. These are fun, and it's always a plus when something like this has a pack. It's supposed to save money, but the fact is these are super freaking expensive. Usually these are $1,500 a piece. They're $1,600 together. 16, 16, 20. It'd be $32,000 anyway. So you're not actually saving any money with this. 16, 16, 20, 32,000. So by packaging these together, you're paying the same amount of price you would have by buying these apart, and the only real special thing you're getting is this picture. So in all, that is not that special of a package. Usually the the bundles would want to bring down the price a little to encourage you to buy the bundle, which would be which you'd pay more than buying just one of these, but you get more people. So I'm not sure that's a great idea. Same thing, the bundle here is 2,400, 8, 16, $2,400. It's the same price. I don't know if they've always done those with bundles. I always thought the bundles were less. So you're saying the same price again as if you bought all these, with how kind of meh these tools are. Unless you're collecting the set like I did, you might as well just buy the jet. So I was going to give them maybe a 2 for having 2 bundles, but because the bundles aren't special and there isn't a ton, I'm going to give them a +1. So in all, in today's Street Fighter set, which is out, 16. Let me add things together here real quick. I'm doing these in sections, and then at the end we'll rate the whole thing based on my math. So it's basically, I gave this a mid-range of 6, which is kind of typical. But what killed it was these guys. They're just not special. There's nothing there with them. So they kind of killed the rating here. They would have had a higher rating had they had better tools. Plus, I would have given them a +2 here. But since I gave them a +1, it now goes up to 7. So its final here is a 7. For this, it's a high mid or a low high. It's a good looking, they put a lot of detail into the skins, and they put a lot of thought into the plane. I would like to know where these came from. Maybe they're part of the original Street Fighter, I don't know. Now we move into featured. Featured will be lasting for 19 hours like those guys up there. Featured appears to be Oktoberfest related on the left, which it's not October yet. It's still September. So, calm down. This is the... Hello, that's not what I chose. This is Heidi. She's unique skin. Like, I don't think her face is anywhere else in Fortnite. It's Germanic looking, kind of tan. She's got the freckles going that you see in sort of a lot of light-skinned German people. The freckles are all over her, which is actually natural. Some of the freckles are quite large. Usually the freckles stay about smaller size, but large freckles like that can happen. She's got a basic German waitress outfit on it, or German style outfit on it. You see these a lot in German-themed restaurants when they're selling beer in steins, usually around Oktoberfest. Speaking of stein, it's a stein with pretzels in it. Okay, I mean, I like pretzels. Are pretzels a German food? I don't know. I usually eat a lot of Oktoberfest stuff. I don't know if pretzels is German. She's got some good looking hair on her. It's got a unique kind of bronzish tint to it. A hat's kind of typical of this outfit. It's a good looking outfit. More aesthetically pleasing. White calf high socks is also typical, along with the short high heels, almost sandals look to it. It's aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's really good. It's also extremely rare. It says it's an epic outfit, but the rarity of this comes the fact that I don't think this skin space is anywhere else in this entire thing. And it's a good looking outfit. I'm going to just give it a 7, a low high or high mid, whatever you want to call that. I call that a low high pretty much, but it's mostly due to how special it is, how good looking it is. The back bling is not terrible. It's got the llama on it. It's got some nice rolly designs you see in this stein. I have a few steins myself, but they're not as colorful as this. It's got the typical kind of trigger thing on the back you flip it open with to drink. They do sometimes keep foods in steins. I've seen it, but it's usually little candies or little things you can just pull out and eat. It's never seen pretzel stuffed into one. It's a good looking stein. That's what a stein would look like. I would not mind having that Fortnite stein, by the way. That'd be a cool stein to have. This is beginning to make me think it's making fun of an old John Denver thing I saw a long time ago. This is a kind of typical Germanic looking outfit you'd see in Oktoberfest celebration stuff. It's got a green vest with some knitting around the sides, striped, not green but gray, kind of green-gray, striped shirt, similar color, folded at the elbows because he's a German working man. What appears to be a kind of fedora with what appears to be, I can't tell if there's supposed to be hops at the top, but there's probably supposed to be hops because Oktoberfest and beer, October go together. This could also be artichokes. I don't know. He's got a weird beard, and it is a thing in Germany to do the whole beard design and mustache competition. That's huge in Germany. It happens all over the world, but it's supposed to be huge in Germany for some reason. Maybe they're bored. Maybe they have some interesting stylists. I don't know. It's got some knee short shorts to above the knees, which is typical. It's got buttons. It's got some weird pockets. I don't know what those are supposed to be on the front there. Those might be typical looks for it, but I don't know. He's got a cool looking belt with some heavy duty belt buckle on it. Like, that thing looks like it weighs a ton and would bring down your pants more than hold it up. He's got suspenders going underneath his vest, buttons on the back. I'm not sure what that is wrapped around his legs, where his socks go. It's like the socks come up to his calves and then got lost somewhere in between. The skin is kind of pinkish, which is actually quite normal for cold regions and white people. And he's got some cool looking boots. They're unique looking. He's not aesthetically pleasing as her. The beard might throw off some people as good and detailed and styled as it is. The hops might throw off some people, especially if they don't know what it is. Oh, he's got a stein on Not a sign, but a mug on his hip, by the way. His backbling is this clock, which is definitely a plus. It's a working, well, not working clock, but it's a clock that's doing things. I don't think that's the time. Is that my... Holy sh... It's not telling the right time, is it? It's telling the right time. I shit you not, it's 11:13 here. That's 11:13. How'd I do that? I'm going to come back in here later and see if it's still in the right time. Because that means that this thing can detect the time probably on the console and keeps it up to date. I wonder if it moves time as time moves. It's now 11:14. The hand moving? I can't tell. It may just have been a coincidence. Let's go out, come back in, and look. And maybe it's a coincidence. That's one hell of a coincidence. Just saying. That's a little coincidence. I can't imagine what else that might do. But it's got a working camel cuckoo clock. My grandparents have something that looks a lot like this. It's very well designed, like there's a lot of detail put into this building, more than sometimes the buildings on the map. It's got a water wheel on the side. The water wheel looks to be moving a little. It's got, I forgot what you call it, but the little deedly bobs that both cuckoo clocks and grandfather clocks have, as well as the pine cone handles. Those pine cone handles you can use to do something with, but I don't remember what. It's been a long time since I've messed with an actual cuckoo clock. And then on the side it's got just a hanging decoration that appears to be a rainbow of some kind in the clouds. All in all, it's a great black thing. It's probably one of the best black things going to be on the store tonight. I'm just going to give him a 6 because his skin isn't quite as good as hers, but his backbling is actually a ton better than hers. And will bring him up to a 7 just like her. If you bought both of these people together, you could pair her with that backbling and that'd be awesome looking. The accordion is, an accordion, a musical instrument. And it makes accordion noises, which is always a good thing when they do that. It's got what appears to be hops all over it because of Oktoberfest. It wiggles a ton, which is always pleasing. It looks like an accordion. It has, well, I don't see the piano part to it, but it may be hidden under a latch up here. It does have the button parts to it, which is on an accordion. It should have the piano part near the buttons over there, I believe. But that may be hidden under a latch. If you see there's like a little lid or something right there with the O's and triangles above it. It's a decent, I mean, for its theme, it's okay looking. The wiggles fun, the noises good, well done. I'm assuming if I hit an accordion on something, that's what it would sound like. So we're going to give that one a good old 7 as well. It's getting a 7. It's going to get straight 7s for this thing if we're not careful. October Feast. This is a detailed glider. I wish I could go in further on this. It's got a keg in the middle, of course, for your beer. It's got hops all over the keg, so you know, extra hops. It's got what appears to be a chocolate heart at the top with a camel, a llama on it. It's got a wreath around the middle. Wreaths, I believe, are over in nomadic, Germanic, Norway area, originating from the winter festivals. It's got appears to be a table folded out for a man. Let's see if I can either play it and tell me what that is. Ooh, that spun a whole lot. Nah, it looks like a table. On the table there's cheese and pretzels. Oh, and the hops are blowing in the wind, which is nice. There's not a lot of wiggle, but there's a lot of wind. There's a fork in what appears to be sausages, or is most likely some kind of brat, which is a type of sausage. And it's got bread. I am seeing a sad lack of sauerkraut, but you know, they can only do so much. There's a bell hanging off the side. There's also wiggling and movements, and the picnic blanket is moving with the wind. It's actually really well done. It's a lot of detail put into this little glider. So yeah, it's not like super special, but I'm going to give it a 7 because it's really well done. It's kind of a solid 7 on this so far. Now, moved over from featured, we're leaving behind Oktoberfest to just these guys, the airplane people that came in Season 1 of Chapter 1, apparently. Is the other one also Season 1? No, Season 9. See, this is the one I'm used to, came in Season 9. This guy also has a secondary version, by the way. So his first version, he has a pilot jacket on. It's got the typical fur you'd see around it. Some straps around him, and some thick-ass bullet shells. That's even really big for grenade shells, I think. I'm going to assume those are still grenade shells, though. It's a hard top one. I didn't even notice that. He's got a ski mask on, which would assume would be for the pilots of biplanes. I believe this will be a pilot of a biplane to keep them warm. They wouldn't have the typical helmets you'd see in fighter jets these days. He's got an old school radio earphones on, probably attached to the radio in his airplane. He's got a skull with wings on the side, which is probably a symbol of his crew, and a military rank in symbol here. I actually don't know what that rank is, don't ask me. My dad was in the military, but I'm not a big military person. The shine on the leather is pretty nice. He's got some weird gloves. I'm going to admit that right here. Some of these characters have some strange gloves. They almost look like something you'd use to clean up, mess with, like heavy-duty biological mess, rather than something you'd fly a plane with. He's got some typical cargo pants on, straps around it, probably would hook into his seats, knee, some almost skater version knee protectors. The pants with the boots, the pants tucked into the boot gives them almost a digigrade look, where the looks like the knees are bent backwards in animal style. The boots are cool looking. They're brown leather, high lace, thick soles. Some of these boots have some thick soles on them. His Halloween version is what I'm going to call this, called Glow version. Gives him a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin-like smile over his mask. Gives him some dead gray skin, purple eyes. This could be the darkness inside of him, by the way. Like, oh yeah, he's got Kevin runes all over him. Well, that's gonna up the ante there. He's got tears all over him, and his gloves have red, been scratched off, or red design on it. He's got Kevin runes all over him. Unlike most of the time, the Kevin runes are not mystical. These are appear to be printed on. So maybe he died and someone brought him back. All in all, I was going to give this guy a 4. There's nothing too interesting about him. But with the addition of a good second skin, which actually looks really cool, I'm going to give him a 6. He has no back bling. Well, he does have a back bling. I'm sorry. The back bling is parachute. I believe that's a parachute with a bedroll underneath it, which doesn't look right. He's got a trowel, which is typical for some old militaries, and even nowadays they use it. The trowel you'd use to dig foxholes to help yourself in the trench, or if you gotta go potty out in the middle of nowhere, you can dig yourself a hole and then bury it. He's got a canteen. Not too bad. I'm going to keep it a 6. This is Velocity. As I've had complaints with other skins, this one only has one skin. She looks cool in a Halloween skin. She's about the same as the Null version, almost exactly the same. Her shirt's a little more open. I don't know if he had dog tags. She's got the same markings on her. She's almost exactly the same as the other guy. Her backpack is more of a mountainous looking backpack. Bedroll on the bottom. I'm not sure what that is around the top. A pouch, a case, canteen. Not bad. I'm going to go back and give this one the 5 that I was going to give the other one, because she doesn't quite have, she's just as good as the other guy, but she doesn't quite have anything. I'm actually going to give her a 4. No, I'm going to give her a 5. There's nothing special about her. There's no second skin, no nothing. Oh my god, what the hell is wrong with my phone? Stop deleting things. This is their glider. Belongs to both of them. It's a plane. This is actually a bomber, not a biplane that I expect them to fly. This kind of plane would drop like atomic bomb. It's got a mounted gun on the back, which I assume would be an anti-aircraft gun, and you use it to fight other aircraft because it wouldn't do much for below it. Got something up top. Those might be more guns it can use to fight other aircraft. Those might be exhaust pipes. I can't really tell. It's got twin engines. They're cool looking. It's got two massive bombs underneath it, and 03 on the side, as well as the symbols of the characters. So none of this folds. It acts pretty much like the other plane. It comes in like a torpedo and then comes out, and then its engine start up, which kind of look cool. Oh, not bad, not bad. I'd give that one a good old 6. This is probably the least, since this actually comes with these people. It was in from season 1. It's the very first time slurp canisters like this were introduced. It was part of the slurp squad, which I don't know what these people are. Now, if they're part of Force Royale, but this always comes out with this guy. I don't know why. The slurp is being run down a hose into a tap at the bottom. It looks pretty cool. If you hit with it, you get slurp everywhere. And you got some kind of handle here which probably stops the flow to that. Not bad looking. It's well designed. I see some wear here, or paint there at the middle. I'm not looking at all. I'm going to give that a good old solid 6 again. So there was a lot in this mid-range. Let me count things up. Okay, so all in all, I gave this one apparently an average score of a 5.5. I don't like points, so I'll round up to 6. This gets, again, mid-range. It doesn't have, just like the first one, however, this because most of these were just mid-range. There was nothing terrible. There was nothing too interesting. So that kept the mid-range. Unlike this, it doesn't have the package to add a point to it, so it's going to stay a 6. Sounds like today's score might be mid-range. This is Bullseye. Bullseye has 3 forms now. This is her normal form. Is this the commander? Yep. Or is this the other lady? I always mistake as the commander. She's got a bullseye on her chest, which is something you probably don't want when you're fighting with guns or whatever. What is that? Vietnam era helmet? With loose straps around her ears. Not sure what that's doing if you don't put the straps around her chin. And some goggles. Her shirt's kind of sweater. It's got some nice designs and patterns on it. Her pants are camo, and then her makeup down there is basic OG form. This has a somewhat glowing heart on it, and on her right. Well, on both shoulders. She's got now what looks to be a bike helmet on with love goggles on. Her pants are now blue with some pink around it and pink splash, pink patch, and then some OG look. Not bad. This is her tech version. It gives her almost, the helmet looks like something from Star Wars. It looks like an Imperial helmet. The goggles have been replaced by goggles you can't see out of, which probably gives VR data system to it. She's back to having a bullseye, but now it's blue and green. Blue and green one is actually pretty aesthetically pleasing looking. So in all, just from the first one, I would have given this one maybe a 3 because, or 2 almost, because it isn't that interesting. But with 3 different skins, those are definitely pluses. I have to give this one a 4. 4 because, well, it does have 3 skins. I was going to give it 2. That'll bring it up 2 for each skin, 1 for each skin, and it's still not entirely terribly interesting. This is Slumberjack. He is a person in a onesie. Apparently you can take a mask on and off. He looks Arabic, by the way, which is unusual. You've got the default form, which is some kind of pink-white monster outfit, onesie stripes down the front. I always thought that it would be best to have the zipper around the back. You gotta go and don't take it all off, whatever. Typical onesie pockets, and there's some shelling on his ankles. This one is Beefy Jams. The eyes have been X'd over as if they're the undead burger from a few seasons ago. It's pink, it's got dark burger all over it. That's fun. Lastly, this is the Swimmy Jams, which is the lurefish. It's got a light on the top for the lure, 2 of those creepy white eyes. Its mask is jaws. Not bad looking, all in all. His feet. So this feet normal, these feet are burgers, that feet is a lurefish. The aestheticness of all 3 of these are very well done. I'm going to give this one a good old 6. For daily, we're now into emotes, which is always a little dangerous. This one, the music itself is actually very pleasing, very familiar sounding to anyone who might have ever visited a carnival. It's fun because she's juggling. It isn't like the most intricate emote, but it is one that I would like to have one day if I feel like spending money on it. I'm going to give this one a good old 7, actually, because there's a lot going on there, and it's well done. Then we have Smeeze, which is one I cannot hear, so we'll just be judging by the dancing. It's got like 4 different moves, 5 if you count the second version, 6. Here's one of those. So it appears to give off one dance at first, and then it gets stuck on this loop. The first dance I actually kind of like. This kind of lift leg, shake. Then she does this thing where she just points and then rotates her arms, almost disco-like, but not quite. I'm gonna give Shmi, just off the dance because I can't hear the music, a 4. This is fishing. This is decent. The music's kind of soft, ambient industry, and the movement, switching is kind of fun. Yeah, not a bad one. Plus the fact you can hear music is a plus. It's not the most intricate one either. It's kind of very repetitive here just towards the middle, and the music's very repetitive. So I am going to give this one a 6. Not bad, but it's nothing too special. Facepalm is simple. This is fun to use. It's a meme everywhere. There's a horn on the background. It allows you to shake your head in desperation for a while. Facial expression changes. It's good, but it's short and nothing special, so it's going to get a 4. Me is another one I won't be able to hear because it's a third party. Shake and then do that, and if I'm correct, frick. We already ditched me. What am I doing? We're off fishing. No, that's all we did. Okay, so we've done all these then. I thought I lost something. So with that, so we're going to round that up to actually, it comes off to almost 6.5, so this makes sense. But all in all, we'll round that up to a 7. Actually, it comes off to no, it comes off to a 5.5, so we'll round it up to 6. Okay, so this is another 6. Mid-range, nothing too bad, nothing too good. Kept at middle range again. Now this is Valencia. It's been in the store for a few days. I was trying to rate ones last night, and I tried to rate these guys. These guys will save the price. Well, these guys might save the rating of tonight's stores. First off, you have Unchained Ramirez. She's wearing a kind of a scale mail shirt, which will turn gold with kills in probably time. And she's got some torn pants on, which are very aesthetically pleasing. Underneath there's some jogging pants. Some people do that. I've seen that before. The jogging pants have what appears to be like an American flag or something on it. All in all, it's a good looking thing. I have to take some note that these glasses look weird. They're odd looking. They're not something I would wear. Not something I think I've ever seen anybody else wearing. They gave her eyes the odd look of like not having any. And then this backling is god awful. It's just awful. The backling alone deserves to give this skin a low rating. That said, I'm not going to do that because it's a really good skin. It looks very nice. This skin's definitely, I would normally give it a 9, but I'm going to give it an 8 just because the backling just is so gaudy. So gaudy. This is the game night. It's got Fortnite and Valencia all over it. A bunch of symbols, play, fast forward, and power. It's got a helmet that has a mohawk on the top of it, spikes around the sides, spikes around the ears, red paint on the front, and then he's got typical layered iron or steel armor. The armor appears to come between steel colored and then black matte colored. All in all, it's a good looking skin. It's got 2 colors. I'm always good for a night theme one. I'm gonna give this guy a 9. This is Doggo. We all know Doggo and love Doggo. He already has a skin or 2 on the. I can't think if he has a skin or if I just have all his extra skins. On Fortnite, he comes with a white and red hoodie and a camo backbling. The background of his hoodie says Retail Bro in bunches of languages. Costo Comercio, including Spanish, Chinese, some Arabic dialects I don't remember the name of. The hoodie is a skate hoodie, or supposed to be. It's got the front pockets so you put your hands in there or just items. And your hands can touch because it's all one big pocket. It is Doggo, so he's got the squishy little pug face, which is awesome looking. His pants are kind of black. They're over the boots, which is a good thing. They're scrunched up at the bottom, which is realistic. Not a terrible looking skin. Doggo definitely is a plus, but also not too special all in all. Out of all these ones, it's probably the least special, so he's getting a 7. Sorry, Doggo. This is very interesting one. This one has a bodysuit, pretty much, very tight hugging bodysuit or body paint, who knows. That changes colors of kill. It's gold to red. It's striped like a tiger. All in all, there's not too much to be said about it, except for the fact that it looks good. It fits. I would give this one also a 8 because it is reactive. And the back bling is not terrible. This is the look. Again, it's third party. I don't know what it is, but all in all, she's just kind of wiggling around her head. Then leans forward and does that. Maybe if I could hear the song, it would be a little different, but I'm going to give this one a 4. Now, you may have noticed I didn't buy these for a reason. This is the Speed Sneaker. It's a little disturbing. It comes in different colors. It's got a lot of wiggle to it, not to mention the way it's shaped looks like it has a foot in it, but you're wiggling around. Better not be left foot. It's not bad looking, but again, it's nothing special. It's a little weird, it's a little strange. It's not going to bring in a lot of people to buy it. Giving this one also a 4. Parasol Glider. It's fun. It's got leather sheen to it. It's sort of a purse. Parasol purse, sorry. It's got banners on the side. It drops in V's that you can actually get to do that. Not bad. I'm going to give that one a 6. Not bad. And then there's these guys. These will kill this section. This is gaudy. It looks like someone bejeweled a gun. This is gaudy. It looks like someone beat up a gun. And this is gaudy. It looks like someone did both to a gun and then left them all up here. All in all, those 3 each have about 2. And that's it for today's show. So let's go ahead and add up this last section. So I'm giving this one apparently a 5.5 again, which means it'll go up to a 6. Again, another mid-range average. These are all really good. They deserve a lot higher than that, but these kind of awful kind of bring down the points on these guys, which all should have been really good points. With that, we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'll move that up to 6 since I don't point. Oh, I messed up. Can't get my phone to actually work. Hold on. So it looks like I gave this entire area here a... Today's store hit 6.5, but since we round up, 7. 7 low high. Not bad. Not bad. It's got a decent amount of skins in it. Almost all the skins are good. These two are probably the least good skins. It's only being held back by some real stinkers. These guys are the stinkers holding back. That said, it did rank up a mid-high, which isn't terrible. You could feel pretty satisfied with most of the items you buy on here. I didn't expect it to get that high. Anyway, that will be my first episode of the just pretty much looking at a Fortnite store every night. I plan to do this every night and release it onto YouTube afterwards. I think that for my next episodes, again, we will not be playing any tomorrow, but I will come in tomorrow evening and do another one of these. And then I will see y'all Friday for a full-on stream. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Peace and out.